What's up, YouTube? We're back around the boxes, just chilling, hanging out. I hope the music's a good level. I can't really tell. Well, let me actually check my. Interesting, it's not actually working. Technical difficulties here. Pardon me for a moment. Is that right? No. Wow, this is just going great here. So I guess it's not putting out my desktop audio, so you can't actually hear my music, which is an interesting dilemma. I'm just gonna keep trying settings until one of them works. Not that one. How about that one? Nope. This is very interesting. Huh. I've never had this happen before. Oh, there we go. Now you can hear the music, so let me know if that's too loud, anyone. I think it's a good volume, I don't think it'll be too loud, but welcome to another episode of Around the Boxes. I don't know if I should lose the hat or not. My hair is kind of a mess. It's a little warm in here, but so we're just hanging out today. Got some more of the collection to go through. Let me take a drink from my amazing SpiderMan glass. But today we are continuing off from yesterday, last episode, so to speak. I ended yesterday at 666, which was the first modern book I bought off the shelf. So we're going to continue from there today and go through my collection of modern Amazing Spider-Man that I have bought off the shelf for the last 200 or so issues, which is pretty cool. I keep messing up my hat. But yes, that's where we're going today. So got my stack ready. Stack of comic books. This is volume 2 before we get into Superior Spider-Man, which we will get into. But I'm gonna shift this camera over here. There we go. And we'll dive into it. So same deal as yesterday. I'm kind of just inputting them in here, grading them, and getting values and whatnot. So I'll be pausing at each one to type that in, but I tried to make it quick. So ended yesterday at 666. That's Spider Island Prelude. It's a little more banged up than my other books because this one I had it unbagged and boarded for a while and I was reading it a lot. It was my first new book. I didn't really think to take care of it. So I put that at like a 9.0. It's not bad, it's just not good. You know. Purchase price, $4 off the shelf. But then, so this was where I kind of left off last time. So I got 666 off the shelf. I was just at a comic store, I saw it and I bought it. So the first book that I actually went and bought the day it came out, like on the shelf, like I was actually looking forward to it, that was 667. So Spider Island Part 1, this was the first Spider-Man book I bought off the shelf. I've since gotten it. I don't know if you can see it on there. Maybe you can see it on here. Let me go full screen for you. Signed by Humberto Ramos. There. Should I just do it this way? Is that... What do you guys think? Would you rather have the blurry... this camera? Yeah, maybe that. I don't know. 667. I would say 9.6. There's very, very minor wear, but it's signed by Humberto Ramos, which is pretty cool. It's a little funny though because, you know, we used to talk about Humberto Ramos all the time on this channel. Me and JP and the other guys, we used to kind of mock his art a little bit, but I think he's definitely improved recently, but we got that going. Then after that was 668. Terrible cover, I'm gonna be honest with you. Terrible cover, but Spider Island Part 2. I remember I was interested in the idea of like a ongoing story, like Spider Island, like Part 1, Part 2. I wanted to get all parts because I was like, oh, I want to see where this goes. Part 3 shocker cover. Not the worst cover I've ever seen. But again, these Ramos covers are okay. These are very nostalgic for me because I remember buying them off the shelf as a kid, but not my favorite comic books, if I'm being honest with you. But there's definitely nostalgia there. 670. J. Jonah Jameson on the cover. That's another 9.6. Purchase price $4. Then, okay. So, part 5, obviously with the Mary Jane cover. A bunch of my books that you're about to see, including the one I just showed a minute ago, are signed by Humberto Ramos because he came to one of my comic stores and I just took a stack of Spider-Man books to get signed. Kind of wish I had gotten this one signed. I only didn't because it was like, you know. But I feel like it would actually be worth kind of money because there are people who like this cover a lot and they would want it signed. But it is not signed and it is a 9.6. It was pretty funny though, me being, you know, however old I was, middle school, going to the store to pick that up off the shelf, I was like, 672, Spider Island Part 6, and this is also signed by Ramos. This looks a little nicer than the other ones. I would call this a 9.8. Yeah, I would call it a 9.8, signed by Ramos. It's pretty good. Signed by Ramos. Apply. There we go. And then there was 673, which was the epilogue. And this had the same artist as issue 666, which is Stefano Caselli, who I really like his art, to be honest with you. I remember at the time liking it, and I liked him so much more than Ramos. And so he had a few books. And then they had Comix. This was 674 with Comix. Vulture storyline. I'd call that a 9.6. $675 with Vulture. So now this was when like I had finished picking up Spider Island, and now I was getting into just like ongoing series, and that was pretty fun. I remember enjoying that. It didn't last very long. I did fall off. You'll see in a second. Here's 676. Sorry, the Sinister Six. Classic Sinister Six. Looks like a 9.8 to me. Purchased for $4. 677. This was a Daredevil crossover. I remember I also bought the Daredevil book that had part 2 of this. I'm gonna call that a 9.6. And then 678, this was such a good cover, and honestly this was a really good 2-issue arc. If you ever pick up these books, or you see them at a store, pick them up and read them. I really enjoyed this arc. The art was by Ramos, which I don't love, but really, really good 2-issue story. I actually really enjoyed it. But that's a 9.8. Purchase price $4. Then $6.79. 2 great covers. Doesn't match the interior art, but that's fine. Looks like a 9.6. Bought it off the shelf for. Then $6.80 goes to space. Looks like another 9.6. Some of these ones are a little beat up. I've had them for a while, and I did not take the best care of my comics back then. I didn't take the worst care of them, but I wasn't thinking, oh, I gotta keep them as 9.8s, you know, like I do now. $6.82. Ends of the Earth. I can't tell if that's the bag or the comic. Yeah, it looks a little bit like a 9.6. There's a tiny bit of wear on there, but not too bad. So we'll call that a 9.6. So yeah, Ends of the Earth Part 1, and then, or was this Part 2? All I know is I missed one issue because there was $6.80, and then I guess $6.81 I think sold out. I didn't get it. And then $6.82, and then $6.83. Somehow this was the last issue I got for a little while, which makes no sense because this is a sick cover and a really cool storyline. So I'm wondering how I decided to stop getting it then. Like, I don't know how I missed out on Ends of the Earth, but I did. This is a 9.6. This app is starting to move a little slowly. $4. So then after that, I kind of fell off from picking up comic books at the store. Until something big happened. And that was issue 700. So I went to the store and picked up, this is the 3rd print of 698. They were obviously sold out of the 1st print. So I picked up a 3rd print just because I wanted to read it. Did not pick up a 699, and then I wanted a 700, which they also did not have a 1st print. They were obviously sold out, so I got this variant, which is cool, I guess. Looks a bit beat up. I'd call it a 9.4. There it is. But I bought it off the shelf for $8. That's a lot of money. So I got that so I could read it. And then years later, a buddy of mine, I bought some comics off him, and he threw this in, and he gave me a first print, cover A. And I later got it signed. I don't know how well you can see it there. I got it signed by Humberto Ramos. So that's pretty cool. 9.6 condition. Did I include signed on there? Yes. And then a couple more technically in volume 2. We have 700.1. They printed these later when Peter was dead, and people just wanted some Peter Parker stories, so they printed some Peter Parker stories. So that was point 1. Let me just put those in here. 9.6. Bought it for 4. Okay. 700.2. 9.8. And then there was 700.3. One of these books, I don't remember which one. I think it might have been 0.4. was a really good story about Peter trying to get across town in the snow. There was like a really bad snowstorm and Aunt May's power went out and he was sick. And he had to get across town to save her, and then a bunch of people needed help along the way. It was a whole thing, and it was a really good story. I remember that. 700.4 is a great cover. 9.8. So yeah, these were fun, but as a collector, I just don't like when they do like 700.4, and they do it multiple times. They do Learning to Crawl, they did like 1.1, 2.1. That's always just really annoying for me. I don't know. Uh, 0.5. Just plugging that in the app here. There we go. So then that's volume 2. So let me grab another stack. So that was the first modern books that I was buying. Until 700 came out, then things got real serious. And I picked up Superior Spider-Man, so I have a complete run of Superior Spider-Man. So we're gonna go through that. But I got all these off the shelf, including issue 1. Pretty sure I've kept it in good condition. Yeah, this looks like a 9.8. Pretty. Well, maybe a 9.6, but I'm gonna call it a 9.8 for right now. I don't think I'll ever get it graded, so it doesn't really matter. I also will never sell it, so. But yeah, Superior Spider-Man 1. Might be getting a similar story soon with Spider-Man Beyond. Issue number 2. Looks like a 9.6 as well. This is him perving on Mary Jane. Issue 3. I love the Ryan Stegman art on these early issues. Those are really good. Issue 4. This was a pretty fun 2-part story. 9.6. Superior Spider-Man 5. Also 9.6. Purchased for $4. Then issue 6, good old Ramos cover. Yeah, you know him, you love him, or you don't. I'll leave that up to you. Uh, 6AU. This was the first. So they dropped this book as kind of a tie-in to Age of Ultron, and then I ended up picking up Age of Ultron. So that was my first modern Marvel event, was Age of Ultron. But this book was pretty good. I remember Christos Gage is a great writer. But this looks like a pristine copy, 9.8. Then there's issue 7 with the infamous cow toe. Like, what the heck is that? Is he a Ninja Turtle? I don't know. What is that? Who knows? But infamous. We infamously mocked it on our live stream. Or I don't know if it was a live stream or a video or something, but we made fun of that back in the day. I'm pretty sure that's the origin of it. There might be another, I think there was an interior panel on a different book that had a cow toe. But that just kind of became a thing. Issue 8, this was when they brought Cardiac back. I was just talking about this the other day. You may remember Cardiac from yesterday's stream from my 90s collection. And then there was issue 9. This was when they were kind of teasing that Peter would come back, and it turned out to be a fake out. Not cool. And then 10, the issue you thought that he would succeed and Peter would come back, but instead Ock succeeds and kills him. Seemingly for good, but obviously nothing is ever permanent in comic books. There's issue 11. So now we're in Marvel Now. I think we've been in Marvel Now. Let's watch as we go through and see all of the reboots. This is Marvel Now. Not to be confused with All New Marvel Now, All New, All Different Marvel Now, All Marvel, All Now, New, whatever the hell they do these days. Issue 12. That looks like a... it looks like a 9/8. I did enjoy reading this run. Like, as much as people hated it, myself included, like, I was complaining about it at the time. It was fun to kind of see, like, when is he going to come back? You know, because we all knew he was going to come back. So you wanted to see how long it would go for and what would happen in the meantime. Like, what consequences would Peter have to deal with when he got back? And they definitely did that. So this is 9/8. Issue 13 with the lizard. This is Superior Spider Month, apparently. And then issue 14, the first appearance of the Superior Spider-Man costume, signed by its designer, Humberto Ramos. I assume he designed it. I don't actually know, but he was the main artist on this arc that introduced the suit. But I got a nice clean 9.8 here. Wait, hang on. This says... oh, never mind. So yeah, pretty good. I guess kind of a key issue in the Superior run. And then there was issue 15, which had the Hobgoblin in it. I forgot about him. So let's put that at 9.8. Then Superior issue 16. Yeah, a lot of these covers are pretty underwhelming, to be honest. But I've felt the same about recent Spider-Man books. Like, I'm looking at all these covers for the upcoming ones, like 71, 72, 73, 74. They all look kind of lazy. I don't know. This is a good one, issue 17. Ryan Stegman. He's always a good cover artist. So let me put that in. 9.8. Oh, that's worth a little bit. Is this a key issue? Superior issue 18. really wish, as good as, like, I'm okay with the fact that they did this series and they've since, you know, established that it is part of the Amazing Spider-Man legacy numbering, but I wish these had just been, like, Amazing Spider-Man 718. I don't know. Superior Spider-Man 19. Another great cover. I don't see any flaws with this book, so I'll put it at a 9.8. $4. There we go. Issue 20 with Black Cat. I don't remember how all of this played out, but it would have been interesting to see, like, the edgier, less moralistic Doc Ock Spider-Man and Black Cat kind of get together. I mean, it's creepy because it's Doc Ock in Spider-Man's body, and that's like a little iffy, but 21. I don't remember anything about this book, but this was coming out when Thor: The Dark World came out, apparently. So that's a while ago. #22, Darkest Hours. Call it a 9.6, could be 9.8. But I'll call it a 9.6 just to be safe. 23. So this was when, I'm pretty sure this was when Venom, Agent Venom with Flash Thompson, he lost the symbiote and it went back to Eddie, but then Flash got the anti-Venom symbiote and became Agent Anti-Venom. So that's pretty cool. 24, 9.8 condition. Not bad. 25, signed by Ramos. Looks like a 9.8. Yeah, it's pretty cool to get all these books signed later on. That was pretty cool that I got to do that. Oh, I forgot to add that was signed. Signed by Ramos. Okay. Then, oh, what a good cover. Superior 26. Green Goblin, Hobgoblin cover. Ooh, looks so good. Call that a 9.8. And then that led right into the big event at the time, Goblin Nation, which I remember being pretty hyped about. At this point, this is all new Marvel now, so that was when they did another reboot. Unsurprisingly, they would reboot this 5 issues later. No, 6 issues later. So, you know. But this looks like a 9.8. Very nice cover. I loved that this big miniseries didn't have Ramos as the artist. They actually had Comix as the artist. It would be really cool to get these signed. If I ever go to a convention that has Comix or Dan Slott, I would like to get these books signed. I would actually like to get a lot of books signed by Dan Slott. I'm not a huge Dan Slott fan, but considering he wrote Spider-Man for many, many years, including when I was first picking him up, I think if I was going to a convention that had Dan Slott at it, I would bring a big stack of books. I'd probably get my Spider Island book signed. I'd get my 700 signed. I'd get my Goblin Nation issues signed, my Superior Spider-Man 1, 9, 10. I'd get my Amazing Spider-Man 800, 801. the volume 3 issue ones, the volume 4 issue ones. I would bring a lot of books to get signed by Dan Slott, so I think I would like to do that in the future, but that would be pretty cool. I would be walking up with a big stack of books, but that would be pretty hype. Here's 28, another great Green Goblin cover. 9.8. Yeah, I would get them signed, and I would consider getting them graded. Or at least some of them. 29. Also 9.8. I should read these again. Goblin Nation was a pretty big deal when it was coming out. That was back when the Comic Book League YouTube channel was a thing, and me and JP would hop on and do a video each new issue and like discuss it. I kind of want to bring something like that back, like just talking about each new issue. But yeah. Issue 30. This is technically the return of Peter Parker. He comes back at the end of this issue. Looks like a 9.8. And then issue 31. The full return of Peter Parker and him fighting Green Goblin. So this would be a good one to get signed by Dan Slott. That would be pretty cool. One thing that annoys me about this book, though, they didn't know it at the time, but series finale. And then later on, they would print issue 32. So, not quite the series finale, but during SpiderVerse, they brought back Superior Spider-Man for 2 issues, so they did issue 32 here. Which apparently these are actually like worth a little bit of money. Last I checked, yeah. So I don't know if something big happens in these. I don't really remember, but that's 32. And then 33. All of these, at this point, we're getting to the point where I took care of my new books, so pretty much all of these are just gonna be 9.8s. Like, I'll check them for any defects or damage, but they're all 9.8s. And then I have the 2 annuals. So I have annual 1, 9.8, paid $5. And annual number 2. I'm gonna be honest, I'm not a fan of annuals. I wish they wouldn't do them. But I guess it's like tradition at this point. But let me grab the next stack. So after the conclusion of Superior Spider-Man, and that was, count it, that was 2 reboots. So that was Marvel Now, and then all new Marvel Now. So they really rebooted. But after that was volume 3, which I also have a complete run, and we're gonna go through it. So I guess we're starting with an annual. I don't know why I have this here. I have my books all over the place, to be honest with you. Volume 3 annual, number 1, 9.8, got it for $5. I wish this app would move a little bit quicker. There we go. Learning to Crawl. That was something they did. So they got Learning to Crawl 1.1. This was a storyline that Dan Slott wrote to take place immediately after his origin story, which was an interesting concept. Don't know how I feel about it ultimately, but again, I don't like when they do 1.1. It's kind of annoying, but Learning to Crawl Part 2. These old Alex Ross covers are obviously great. Can't beat that. 9.8, purchase price $4. 1.3, Aunt May on this cover. Also a 9.8. There we go. 1.4, this is that villain that he made this storyline to introduce. Honestly, I forgot his name. Be honest with you. Clash. So this is his first appearance of Clash. I don't think he ended up really being a big deal, so I don't think this is really worth anything. But 1.5. The last Learning to Crawl issue. Also a 9.8. But yeah, so next, these are... So when Amazing Spider-Man Volume 3 came out, that was when Peter Parker was coming back after like a year. And for me, I really started picking up modern books with Superior Spider-Man. So I was excited because this meant that I was about to get Peter Parker Spider-Man for what felt like the first time, really. So I bought multiple copies of issue 1. I bought 5 different copies of issue 1. A couple variants. But I got the regular cover. I got 2 copies. Because I thought, you know, it might be worth money one day. I got one of them signed by Humberto Ramos. I don't know why I chose not to get both of them signed. That was a weird decision. But I got the nicer copy signed, it looks like. I would say that's 196 and 198, but I think I got it logged in here already. 98 signed by Humberto Ramos. Purchase $6. Oh, I don't have purchase price on here. Purchase price $6, 2 copies. So that's my cover A, 2 copies. Then I got a blank cover because I plan to get it sketched on at some point in the future. I don't know when or by who, but at some point I will hopefully be able to get some kind of sketch on there. Then I got the baby variant, Scotty Young baby variant. Let me just make sure I type in my data here. So that's a fun one. Oops. And then I got the J. Scott Campbell variant, who is a very good artist. And let me type in my purchase price. There we go. So that was all issue 1. Then I got issue 2, Electro story. This was right around when Amazing Spider-Man 2 came out. I got it signed by Ramos. You can see it better on this camera. Signed by Humberto Ramos. 9.8. Let me log that in here. Signed. Apply. So yeah, I got quite a few books signed by him. Issue 3, also signed by him. I kind of just, all of these early issues in Volume 3 were, the art was done by Ramos, so I just got them all signed because, you know, the early issues in a run are generally more valuable than the rest, and he did the art. It cost me nothing to get them signed. I think these were all free to get signed, so that was pretty cool. Yeah, it was at Heroes Haven Comics. That was a comic store I went to at the time. They're in Tampa, Florida. So if you're ever in Tampa, go check out Heroes Haven. This is a pretty good book, actually. This is Amazing Spider-Man issue 4, signed by Ramos. This is the first appearance of Silk. So this book is actually worth a decent amount because people actually care about Silk. So key issue 9.8. I'd like to get this graded. I might send it into CBCS since they do signature verification. Issue 5, also signed by Ramos. Like I said, I got all of my Volume 3 books signed by Ramos. I think that's the run that was out at the time. So I just grabbed my whole run. Issue 6, signed. Oh, did I include signed on those? No. Signed by Ramos. And this one is... Yes, okay. So this is issue 6. Looks like a 9.8. Signed. Then you get to issue 7. This one was not Ramos, so I did not get it signed. Looks like a 9.6. This was an Edge of SpiderVerse, so that was when they were building up to their big event. Issue 8, Spider-Girl's Last Stand. It's a nice cover. Reminds me of kind of like issue 40 back in the 60s. And then we obviously have issue 9, SpiderVerse Part 1. This book is obviously a bigger deal now. So this is another one listing off books that I would like to get signed by Dan Slott. This is one that I think would be, I can picture a nice like silver signature right there. Because obviously Spider-Verse has become a bigger deal than it was then. Especially if No Way Home does have Toby and Andrew in it, and they go for a Spider-Verse. I don't think they will. I don't think they won't. I don't know. But if they do, you know, this is the first Spider-Verse book, so. Same with Part 2. And this allowed him to bring back Superior, so he could kind of, you know, play around with that. So that was kind of fun. Apparently this book is worth some money as well. Is this a key issue? Is this a 9.8? This might be a 9.6. This might be a 9.6. Issue 11. That's a 9.8. Love this cover. You got Superior Spider-Man, Peter Spider-Man. It's good times. Issue 12. Looks like a 9.8 to me. Issue 13 is part 5. Another great cover. A little bit of damage on that corner, so that might make it a 9.6, but otherwise it looks very crisp. Okay, good display there for you. There we go. And then 14, part 6, the big finale. That looks like a 9.8. It was fun that this had Madam Web, because Madam Web was pretty relevant during Spider Island, which was my first modern run, so it was all kind of coming together. Here's issue 15, the epilogue. Another 9.8. Purchased for 4. What the heck is going on? Purchase date? The date it came out. If I wanted to, I could. So I am not going to go to that much work, but if you want to, you could include purchase date and purchase store. So I could say, oh, I bought this on the day it came out, and it was at, oh man, I don't even know what store it would have been. Heroes Haven, probably? But I'm not going to go to that much work. Issue 16, Peril at Parker Industries. 9.8. Yeah, so Ramos must have come to my store at some point before this issue, because this is also Ramos, but I did not get this one signed. Or no, because I think... Yeah, he must not have been, because I didn't get 18 signed. Here's 17. That's a 9.8. If I had the option, I definitely would have got this one signed, because this is the last issue of Volume 3, 9.8, issue 18. So this reboot lasted a whole 18 issues. Reboots are fun. They also had those Spiral books that were coming out. So this is 16.1. This was a Spider-Man story written by Gary Conway. Or Jerry? Is it Jerry? It might be Jerry, it might be Gary, I don't know. He's my favorite writer on Spider-Man. He wrote The Death of Gwen Stacy, obviously. I would love if the modern Spider-Man run would be him and Mark Bagley. Oh my god. I would lose it. That would be so good. Spiral Part 3, a little bit of Black Cat on the cover. Looks like a nice 9.8. Spiral Part 4. Spiral Part 5. Another 9.8. Bought them all off the shelf. So. And then lastly we have Amazing Spider-Man Annual Number 1. Not to be confused with the other Annual Number 1. I guess this is Volume 4 Annual. So this should probably be in the other section, but you know what? I don't care. Look at this art. Look at that Spider-Man. What the heck is that? I don't even know these days. That is just wild. Alright, and that's Volume 3. So let's continue on to Volume 4. Oh, that's right. Before we continue on to Volume 4, there was a slight detour that I almost forgot about. Right around this point was when Secret Wars happened. And for an entire summer, there was no books other than Secret Wars Battle World books. So they did Amazing Spider-Man Renew Your Vows, which was kind of like an Elseworld story of if him and Mary Jane had stayed together and had their daughter, and she had superpowers. So these are included in the legacy numbering, since these are technically canon during Secret Wars. So there's 5 of these. There's issue 1. Issue 2 has Venom. 9.8. Issue 3. Issue 4. There we go. And then issue 5. The last one before Secret Wars ended, and then they rebooted the Marvel Universe. Kind of. It was a soft reboot. They just merged the Ultimate Universe with the 616. And we got Amazing Spider-Man Volume 4. Which people have mixed feelings about. I definitely have some mixed feelings about. So at this point, reboots were nothing new. So you remember with Volume 3, I got like 5 copies of issue 1 because I was like, oh, these are going to be worth something, you know. It's the first #1 since the 90s. Well, when Volume 4 came around, I did not feel the same way, so I only bought 1 copy. This is Spider-Man issue #1, oversized. This was when they did Parker Industries and made Spider-Man worldwide. They were trying to make Spider-Man Iron Man, to be honest with you. And frankly, it just doesn't really work for me. It was enjoyable. There were moments of this run that I did enjoy, but for the most part, I don't know. That just doesn't look like Spider-Man to me. You got the car, the girls. But Alex Ross covers, I mean, whew. That's definitely one of the highlights of this run, was that Alex Ross was doing every cover, and he's obviously an insane painter, and so all these covers are beautiful. Which this book comes out twice a month, so that's honestly pretty impressive that this guy was basically painting one of these covers twice a month. That's kind of insane, actually. Issue 4. This was when they started kind of bringing Green Goblin back a little bit. Issue 5. Looks like a 9.8. Purchase price $4. Issue 6. This was The Dark Kingdom, a Mr. Negative story. I think this came out around the time the video game came out. I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's why they did a Mr. Negative story. It's pretty good if I remember, though. It had Cloak and Dagger, which I thought was fun. Throwback to the 90s. There they are. You can see it better on that camera. 9.8. There we go. Issue 8. Looks like another 9.8. They really had the like wild hair going on back in then. They gave Peter this like 80s hair on all these covers. There we go. Then we got issue 9. This was the beginning of Scorpio Rising. This was when Peter was dating Mockingbird, which was weird. Weird choice. Dan Slott will make Peter date Mockingbird, but he won't get him back with Mary Jane. Oh man. Issue 10. These all look like 9/8. Oh my gosh. At this point, I was really taking care of my comics. And it has paid off, let me tell you. Comics are a good investment. Issue 11. 9.8. I love the purple on this cover. I don't know how well you can make out the colors. Probably better on here. That's actually a really great cover. Excuse me. Then we have issue 12. This was when Regent, the character from Renew Your Vows, they brought him into the main universe. Teams up with the Avengers. Get my purchase price. There we go. Issue 13 versus the Invincible Iron Man. This was when Brian Michael Bendis was doing his Invincible Iron Man run, which I really enjoyed. That was the first time I picked up any Iron Man comics, and it was just really good to read. Bendis is a good writer. I really wish Bendis would do a run on Amazing Spider-Man. That would be so good. I don't know what he's doing these days though. Isn't he working on like movies and stuff now? Probably. I'm pretty sure he got hired by like Marvel Studios or DC or someone. There we go. Issue 15. Mary Jane Iron Spider cover. Classic. It's almost like every volume they gotta have just one Mary Jane cover. Or Black Cat. Issue 16, this is before Dead No More. So this is when they were building back up to their next big spider story since SpiderVerse and the reboot. 17, oh this is in a bad Mylar, I don't like this. 17, before Dead No More. Purchase price 4. We got 18. So yeah, this is when Dr. Octopus is coming back. Then you got 19. Dead No More. Clone Conspiracy. Build up. So this is a perfect example of what I was talking about yesterday. Or was that? Yeah, it was yesterday. With Sinister War. They didn't print Clone Conspiracy in the Amazing Spider-Man. They printed it as its own series, and Amazing Spider-Man just had Clone Conspiracy tie-ins. Which is like, whatever. You know, if you're reading it off the shelves, it doesn't really matter that much. But as a collector, it's really annoying because right now I'm going through my Amazing Spider-Man collection and you can kind of see all the stories as they happen. But when you get to Clone Conspiracy, it's just tie-ins. My Clone Conspiracy books are over in another section because they're a different series. Like, I wish they would have just printed it in this book. That would have made it so much better. Sinister War has the same problem. Like, my Volume 5 section of my boxes is kind of a mess because it's like, here's a couple Amazing Spider-Man issues, then a giant size one shot, and then another giant size one shot, and then Sinister War. It's like, just print Amazing Spider-Man books. I don't know why they gotta print all those side titles. I don't know. Not a fan of that practice, but what are you gonna do? #22, Clone Conspiracy tie-in. Clone Conspiracy was okay. Wasn't my favorite. But, you know, it was okay. #23, got Gwen Stacy on the cover. I love how kind of, I don't want to be too critical of how lazy they're getting though. They have the Clone Conspiracy, obviously they're using the 90s font from the Amazing Spider-Man title logo, and they're doing the exact same thing with Sinister War now. It's like, did you forget you did this a few years ago? This was 3 years ago. Here's 24. Also, this is apparently, you know, this is Ben Reilly, and now he's gonna be Spider-Man soon? You made him a villain, and now he's gonna be Spider-Man? Okay. I assume it'll be a version of him that didn't go crazy, but who knows, man. Here's 25. The Osborn identity begins here. So that's when they bring Green Goblin back. This looks like a nice 9.8. And according to this is about a $10 book. This one was, well, it says Dan Slott on the cover. On here it says Christos Gage. I don't know. But let me grab the next stack. Go. The rest of volume 4. So here's 26. Silver Sable returns. Go. 27. Got some Goblin Gang people chilling there. #28. It's him versus Norman Osborn. No holds barred. Then they did the Secret Empire tie-ins, which brought back Otto again. Only now they undid his redemption arc, and he's a villain again. Shocker. They did like a 60-issue redemption arc for him, and then they undid it that quick. Go. 31. This is when some of these books start to get a little expensive, but this is when things get serious. We got 32, which is the last issue of the Volume 4 numbering before Legacy reboot. But technically it's all still Volume 4. But they go back to the Legacy numbering after this one. Let me plug that in. There we go. So then you go to 789. This is Marvel Legacy 789. My book has a little bit of a tear there and there, so it's probably like a 9.4. It's actually not the best. I wish that they still did the format of their covers like this. Honestly, I really enjoy having the number here again and having like the face and like, I don't know, it really felt classic, which is obviously the point. But I wish they had stuck with that longer, because you'll see it's gone by 800. Once they reboot with Volume 5, it's gone. 790, Clash comes back. Fall of Parker. I don't remember a lot of these books. I need to reread this volume, because I really don't remember what happens. I'm actually thinking about rereading all of Dan Slott's run, because I'm thinking about making a video kind of comparing, or really just analyzing Dan Slott's run and kind of talking about the difference between that and like Nick Spencer's run, because there are a lot of differences. Here's 791, Mockingbird. I think it's when they break up. They don't last very long. I remember that. 792, Venom Inc. This was a pretty... You gotta have a Venom story from time to time. Although nowadays he just has his own stories, which is pretty cool. There we go. 793, Venom Inc. Part 4. $794, Threat Level Red. So this was when they were starting to tease that Norman Osborn was getting the Carnage symbiote. Hence, Threat Level Red. So that was when you could kind of tell, you know, we're getting close to issue 800. What are they going to do for issue 800? It was pretty obvious Norman Osborn was going to don the Carnage symbiote. Here's 795. Random guest appearance by Loki. And then this book was actually hard to get back in the day because I missed it on the stands and I had to buy it online. I think I paid more than cover price. $7.96. Threat Level Red Part 3, and I believe it's the first... I think this is the one that like teases Carnage at the end of it. Or rather, teases Norman Osborn and Carnage, because then we got 797, which is Go Down Swinging, Part 1. Let me let you guys see this cover, because that is such a good cover. Definitely a 9.8. Green Goblin cover, beautiful. You love it. Page 4, done. So I would definitely get this one signed by Dan Slott. If I were to... Should I just... I don't know. This blurry camera pisses me off. Would it be better if I was just like this and I just kind of show you? What do you guys think? Here's 798. Gorgeous cover. Green Goblin again. Definitely a 9.8. $7.99. Go Down Swinging Part 3. This is the first, I believe it's the first appearance of Red Goblin, which a lot of people didn't like, a lot of people did like. I think Red Goblin was pretty cool as like a one-off. I'm glad that it didn't stick around. It's not like he stayed as Red Goblin. He just kind of did it and then it was over and he was back to being Green Goblin. Immediately after that, obviously, we got the big one, issue 800. I bought 2 copies, 1 regular cover and 1 variant. I kind of wish I had bought 2 copies of the regular cover, but to be fair, it was $10. This comic book is so thick. But I'm gonna put mine in as a 9.8. Purchase price $10. And then the variant I got was this John Cassaday variant. It's a cover swipe of issue 39, obviously. I thought that was fun, so I got that. So let me include that value, 9.8. Purchased for $10. So those are my 800s. And then obviously, you know, we were talking about books I would get signed by Dan Slott. 801. His last book on the series. You know, you can like Dan Slott or you can not like Dan Slott, but you can't deny that he had a monumental run on the book. He was on it for, I think, more issues than any other writer, including Stan Lee. So that's his last issue on the series. I feel like that counts for something. Then I got a couple of annuals. I got annual 42. Because this was during their legacy. And then this is technically volume 5. So I should probably put this in the volume 5 box, but it's annual 1, legacy 43. So let me grab that one. And that's volume 4. Now let's jump into volume 5. Oops. Let me take these off for a sec. Yeah, so volume 4, I like volume 4, but I don't know, it was okay. But by the time volume 5 was rolling around, I was feeling ready for it. I felt like I was getting a little sick of Dan Slott, and I was ready for something new. So coming into volume 5 with Nick Spencer, I was actually pretty excited because Nick Spencer wrote Steve Rogers' Captain America, which was the HydroCap run, and I really enjoyed that run. Really enjoyed that run. So it all starts off with issue 1, Legacy 802. I'm just gonna go with the Legacy numbers, but this looks honestly like a bit like a 9.6. It might not be a 9.8. Again, only 1 copy. I wish I had gotten multiple, but I did not. I think going forward, probably not for every issue, but for the big ones, I'm going to try and get at least a couple copies. So like 74, which is Nick Spencer's last one, probably get a couple copies. 75, I'll probably get a couple copies. I don't know, maybe I'll even go full Walking Dead. Back in the day during Walking Dead, I got 2 copies of every issue because I thought that they were all going to be worth money one day, which they are. So I don't know, maybe one day I'll do that with Spider-Man, get 2 copies each time, but I don't think I can quite afford to right now. Maybe with issue 75 I'll start. That could be fun. Here's issue 803. Nice lizard cover. Definitely a 9.8. I'm just gonna put these here actually. Issue 804. This was actually a pretty fun little story. They did the split Peter Parker and Spider-Man. I thought that was a fun idea. Purchase price $4. Okay. Issue number 805, 9.8. there. But yeah, guys, let me know if there's anyone in the chat or anyone watching this as a VOD. Just let me know in the comments. Do you prefer this setup where I just kind of show the camera the comics and it's a little bit nicer quality, or do you prefer this setup where you can see the comics but it's a little blurry? This camera's trash. But let me know which one you guys prefer going forward. I'm gonna stick with this one for now because I want to give it a try. But Amazing Spider-Man 806. So nice cover there. 9.8. Purchase for 4. You wanna know how much money I've spent on comics? Maybe I shouldn't say. Wow. Not as much as you would think, actually. Alright, Amazing Spider-Man 807. Boomerang cover. I don't love Boomerang. So what I'll say about Volume 5, I think Volume 5 is really good. Especially, like, it really improved upon a lot of the criticisms of Dan Slott's run. But Volume 5 isn't like my favorite. Here's issue 808. Like, I'm not a huge fan of the Boomerang storyline. It's a little more childish than I would prefer. I mean, it's Spider-Man. Obviously, you're gonna write it kid-friendly, but I don't know. Here's 809. I just thought after Nick Spencer did such a dark run on Captain America, he might, you know, he went a totally different direction for Spider-Man. Here's issue 810. Black Cat. I almost said Black Widow. Looks like a 9.8. But yeah, I think I'm gonna reread the Dan Slott run and then the Nick Spencer run, and then I'll probably make a video comparing them. Issue 811. Kind of a dumb cover. I don't really like that gimmicky, oh no, this cover was stolen type thing. Amazing Spider-Man 812. These are all 9.8s. So that's pretty good. We got Amazing Spider-Man 813. This is the Stan Lee tribute issue. So this was right after Stan Lee died. What a rough... I don't think I've ever talked about this on this channel, but when Stan Lee died, that hit me hard. That hit me hard. I mean, that guy, he created the universe that, I mean, look at, I got posters behind me. We're looking through these comics, we're talking about him, like, the impact that Stan Lee had on my life is very large, so this is a pretty cool comic. Tribute issue. Yeah, I remember exactly where I was when I found out that Stan Lee died. I was at work. I was working, and I remember I got like a notification on my phone. I checked it, and it said, you know, some headline: Stan Lee passes away at, you know, yada yada. I remember I just like, it was not fun, but he lived a long, good life, and obviously his legacy will outlive him for years and years to come. Here's issue 13, 814, the second Stan Lee issue. They did Stan Lee tributes for a whole month, so there's 2 issues that have his tribute on there. I'd like to get those graded. I think that'd be kind of cool to have those. I don't know. Here's issue 815. Nice rhino cover. I like that. Uh, 816. Kind of just a boring filler cover. Probably just a filler issue, honestly. This app is moving slow. Okay, then you had Nick Spencer's first big spider event, which was Hunted. So this is 817 Road to Hunted. So it's not Hunted Part 1, it's Road to Hunted. That's another 9.8. And then 16.HU for Hunted tie-in. Nice black cat cover. What's making that rattling noise? Man, you guys ever like... I woke up this morning and my tongue hurts. It's just like raw. I don't know what happened. Here is issue 818, Hunted Part 1. Craven the Hunter. And then 819, Hunted Part 2. I really wish this app would move faster. 18.HU, which is a Hunted tie-in. I really don't like all those 18 dot whatever. It's annoying. $820 Hunted Part 3, issue 19 of volume 5. These are all nice 9.8s. 19.HU. And then we got issue 821, Hunted Part 4. $9.8. That was issue 20 of volume 5. What's up, Lost Comic Kid? How's it going, man? $4. There we go. Issue 20.HU. All those weird tie-ins they did. That's another 9.8. Then you get to issue 822, Hunted Part 5. Alright, this app needs to go faster. Come on. 9.8. Purchase price $4. And then you concluded it with 823, which was Hunted Part 6. My day's been pretty good so far. Woke up, had some lunch, hopped on here, started streaming. I woke up a little late. I sleep in pretty late, to be honest. But we're doing good. Here's 824, Hunted Epilogue. Here we go. 9.8. Then you get into some pretty big ones. So you have 825, which I think this is the issue where you find out Kindred's name, not his identity, but his name. That being Kindred. And then the big issue 25, 826, 60 pages. That's a lot of pages. Bought it for 8. 827. Kind of a filler issue, nothing too major there. Get that one, cover price, there we go. Then 828, kind of continuing that Foes storyline. I suppose I should probably look at the... It's gonna be a 9.6. There's a little bit of a crease in the corner. It's unfortunate, but not a huge deal. 829, Kingpin and Boomerang. When am I going to stream on DA Games? Probably later today. Very soon is all I can say for sure. Kind of depends on how my day goes, because I might work on a video or I might do something else, but definitely got some gaming streams coming soon. Gonna be playing some Minecraft, other stuff like that. So yeah, very, very soon. I've just had a lot of comic book stuff to do, so I've been doing a lot of comic book streams. Here's issue 830, 9.8. Almost done with volume 5. Oh man, once I finished logging this whole collection in this app, better be worth it. This is 831, Absolute Carnage tie-in. It's a pretty good one. And then issue 31, 832 Legacy. This was actually the last book in volume 5 that I bought for a while. So then I was gone for like 2 years. I wasn't picking up any comics. And I came back with issue 63. And I picked up some of the issues that I missed. So I'll keep going and I'll have some of them, but I did not pick these up off the shelf. I bought them later trying to catch up. Like this one, which I'm glad I was able to pick this one up because I feel like it'd be kind of hard to find. It's Amazing Spider-Man Legacy 851, issue number 50. It's Last Remains Part 1. So that's a pretty good book. 9.8. Do I still play Fortnite? Not really. I played maybe one game of Fortnite in the last few years. 50 LR. That game was never really my favorite. Like, I played it when it first came out because everyone I knew was playing it, so I just played with them. But after a few seasons, I kind of just stopped playing it and haven't really cared to since. Here's 852, Doctor Strange cover. And then 51 LR. Once again, they gotta do all those little 51.lr. I mean, at least that's better than doing the main series in another series and doing tie-ins. Like, I would prefer if they did Sinister War as issue numbers and then they did like 69.SW or whatever. 854? Skip an issue there that I don't have. I'm gonna pick up all these books to fill in my collection so that I have my complete run, but not there yet. We got 855. And then I don't have 856, which is the last issue of Last Remains. So I need to pick that up. But don't have it currently. I have 857, which is the one immediately after. Yeah, that's a 9.8. Issue 861. .8. Come on, there we go. Then we got 863. That has his new costume. Looks like maybe a little bit of wear. I'm gonna put it at a 9.6. I think it just has some printing issues. But do I play Valorant? I have played Valorant. I wouldn't say... Valorant is a game that I know I would love, so I don't let myself play it. If that makes sense. Like, if I let myself play Valorant, then I'm gonna play it too much. Because I played Valorant during the closed beta. I actually got into it pretty early. And I was like, oh, I love this game. I'm going to grind it. I'm going to become good at it. And I just got so competitive playing it that I would get so mad when I lose. So I haven't touched Valorant since the beta. But I keep thinking about it. It's still downloaded on my PC. I look at it. I think about launching it, but it's such a complex game that I would have to commit to like learning the game, grinding the game, and I would have to like if I play Valorant, I'm gonna want to be good at it, and that's a commitment. So I don't let myself play it, basically. Here's issue 864. This is the first book I picked up off the shelf again. So I stopped after 31 when I came back a couple months ago. It was with this issue. And then I got 865. But yeah, that's my relationship with Valorant. Great game. I think I would love it. I don't let myself play it. Here's 866. Kind of a mess of a cover. $867. Another kind of just filler cover. And then here's what I'm talking about when I keep complaining about this. I'm going to keep complaining about this. Let me just get this logged in here. Giant size Amazing Spider-Man King's Ransom. I hate that they do this. It's so annoying. I have to go to a whole different section on my app to find it. Like, why not just make issue 67 be that giant size issue? I just don't understand. They're really just trying to get money. It's really annoying. Like, why do they have to do that? Anyway, here's 868. Chameleon Conspiracy, Part 1. And then 869. Chameleon Conspiracy, Part 2. Jack-o'-lantern and Chance on there. And then it happens again. We got giant size The Chameleon Conspiracy, issue 1, which is also annoying. What did I think when I quitted YouTube for 3 years? I wouldn't say there was ever a moment where I was like, oh, I'm quitting making videos. It just kind of didn't happen. Because I kind of fell off of comic collecting for a while, and there just wasn't really much to make videos about. And, you know, the last few years I'll occasionally throw out, like, I would try to make some gaming videos, I'd try to make some other stuff. But, I don't know, I just never felt right. But, like, now, coming back, like, I really feel fully ready to dive back into comic book collecting and all these other hot, you know, D&D and Magic and stuff. And so I think, like, I'm really motivated to grind out YouTube videos and streams and stuff again. I mean, here we are, right? So I missed it for sure. Last few years I've missed comic collecting, but also I've missed having a YouTube channel. It's just fun to have people you can interact with and kind of share your hobby, you know? Like, if I'm excited about some comic book, I can come on here and talk to a bunch of people who are also going to be excited about it. So that's definitely... I missed that while I was away. Sinister War, issue 1. Where is that? There it is. And that's my volume 5 collection. That's the whole thing. So that is caught up to present day with Sinister War. Ugh. Whew. Oh. So that is my modern Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man books. That is a lot of comic books. I've been picking up Spider-Man for probably, for over 200 issues. It's pretty wild. Whew. I think next stream I'm gonna dive into my Marvel miscellaneous A to Z box. Dig out some books that I probably haven't seen in years. So that'll be fun. Check those out, log those in the collection. But so far I've got 910 comics logged in my app, and I'm only not even halfway through. Wow, that's crazy. Well, I think I'm gonna hop off this stream. It was a good almost 2 hours. Trying to keep these around the boxes streams to like just under 2 hours. I don't want to go too crazy with them. But I'll probably be back tomorrow. Well, I might be streaming later tonight over on the gaming channel, so if anyone watches this, you're not subscribed, that's in the description. I might be playing some Minecraft or something else. Not 100% sure, but... Oh, actually, you know what? Well, that's not till later. I'm watching the NBA Finals tonight at 9, but... could probably stream before that. But, yeah, Around the Boxes, episode 2. We're going to do this again tomorrow. Keep going through. Checking out comics. I do want to vary them up a bit. Like, these streams are not always going to be me going through comic by comic and stuff. Like, that's just what I'm doing now because I'm trying to log them in this app. But, you know, eventually we'll just be chilling on here, talking about comics, and maybe we'll pull out a few, flip through them, like, kind of stuff like that. So, I'll see you guys in the next one. If you want to go back and rewatch, I got a playlist on my channel with episode 1. You can go check that out. That was going through my 90s Amazing Spider-Man collection, the first comics I was ever buying. But thanks for watching, everyone. I will see you guys soon. Follow me on Twitter. I try to tweet out pretty regularly. That's a great place to interact with me regularly. I tweet out new books I buy, my thoughts on things, just all sorts of fun stuff. So go check that out. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, so I know if you guys are enjoying this streaming format thing. And let me know in the comments if you prefer this setup where I show you the comics here, or if you prefer this setup where I show you the comics here and it's a little blurry. But let me know which one you prefer. That'll help me to make these better for you. But I'm gonna go now. I'm gonna stop rambling. Peace out, everyone. Have a wonderful